Yeah, we definitely don't want to go live with any of that. And yeah, anyway, so um,
Welcome to Toy Talk. He's Terry,
yeah,
that's David, and I'm Dan.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us again. We appreciate it. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on, Terry. Do you have anything queued up? Or you want me to get into it?
I don't have anything queued up. Let's go ahead and figure out what the first thing that we're going to discuss is. You mentioned something about the HISS tank and
Yes.
the funding method for that. What
Well,
what was going on there?
so the what is the name of the thing for the apocalypse? What is the that
Made
process?
to order.
Made to order. So it's called MAT. That is what people are calling that now. That formula now is being very, very like nitpicked and looked at very carefully. The expense of it, the this, the that, what stuff we should get, what stuff we shouldn't get, what is too big that should be a HasLab and things like that. So there's a lot of communication right now and a lot of our sister and brother podcast about this particular topic. And I thought maybe we should chime in a little bit on it ourselves. I think it's the perfect avenue to get reuse HasLabs. Now, I opened my His Tank HasLab today in a video that I did, and I want to show this off a little bit just as an example so people can get the realization that this is not small. This is impossible. Look at how huge this His Tank is. And look at it in comparison to the vintage His Tank, right? So now we're going to be getting a made to order Arctic Assault His Tank like this. The same superstructure, maybe not these extra missile things and these extra guns and stuff. Still opens up from the back, still folds out, still has the cockpit, still has the canopy, still has a figure, but it's still huge. It's still huge. So we're not going to get that for no $150. We're not going to get these vehicles that were HasLabs for that price point. And people are like, no, that's too expensive. It doesn't have this, it doesn't have that, blah, 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 blah. And this comes with four figures. Four figures. There's $100 right there for four figures. So it's just ridiculous that people are complaining about the fact that this is going to be maybe 175 or $200,
I
and it
haven't
was
seen anybody complaining about it. I mean, again, I'm not watching in all of the classified groups. I pretty much stick to my own and don't really. I guess I just don't really see. I'm not exposed to like the complaining about it because, in my opinion, the made to order concept is pretty much the best because I mean you have a window of opportunity to purchase something, and if you don't want it, don't buy it.
that's right. That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
I think I like it better than $1 billion company doing crowdfunding,
Yeah,
which I've never understood that. Like the made to order model, I don't think is a bad business model because you're justifying what you're doing and you got the money for it. It's
Well,
yeah,
just like doing a
but there have
it's
been made to order products that have not met whatever their goal is, and they did not go forward. There have
wasn't
been
the
made,
X-Men 97 Sentinel, wasn't that a made to order?
yes.
yeah. The
So
X-Men 97 Sentinel
the
was.
Dragon Man was the first, Sentinel was the second, I believe Mephisto was the third. Now Apocalypse from Marvel Legends. Star Wars, I don't know if they've done it with Star Wars. So we're going to be getting the first classified with the Arctic Assault Hiss. And I definitely think it needs to be. There's no doubt in my mind.
Hey, I'm
Based off
looking
of,
forward to that Sentinel, man. That Sentinel looks pretty dope.
yeah,
Apocalypse does too.
somebody did a video with all the Sentinels that they've made over the last 25 years, and they showed that one. They showed the Marvel Legends one from like the 2000, and then they showed the HasLab one. The HasLab one is like almost twice the size of that X-Men 97 one. So there's a big difference between HasLab scale and made to order. Now,
Yeah, but honestly, man, like I don't need a bunch of exclusive figures coming with it. I don't have to have that.
no.
You know what I think's cool though with that Sentinel? Like you can use all those Sentinels. You can even use the 1995 Toy Biz Sentinels, and they could just be different versions, different models, and still fight your X-Men and stuff. That's one kind of neat thing about that. Yeah, the made to order, I don't have an issue with it. Um, I'm curious why the Arctic Hiss is the first one. I think it'd be kind of cool if we could get like the bivouac, a regular bivouac, or well, we probably
We're
can't
gonna
because
get
the
a
snow
big
cap.
whack. No,
But-
Yeah,
Dave,
I
we're
don't think
doing
that
a
even
big
like-
needs to be made to order. I think that just needs to be something they put out on Pulse or Target or whatever, mass retail.
We're getting it. We're getting a bivouac. But the
My
reason
issues with all
why
these exclusives that no one's able to get, like they cancel orders, and then one Walmart or one Target ends up with like 50 of a character, and no other region has it. And then I got people come in and don't want to collect the stuff anymore, and they blame me or my store because because Hasbro, they can't get every Target exclusive, and I'm like, I don't work for Target.
These two right here, these two Target exclusives.
Is that Falcon and
Oh, it's Tiger Force Duke and the Python Serpentor.
I just picked up Royal Guard, Falcon, Big Lob, and Pythona. There's somebody else. Oh, and I feel like there was somebody else in that mix.
No, I'm pretty sure that's it. There's 4.
Oh, Arctic Snake Eyes. I picked him up.
Yeah,
That's the other
Arctic Snake Eyes. Yeah, I got all those here. I gotta say, Pythona is probably my least favorite out of that set.
Same here.
what the Super 7? Are you talking about them?
Yeah, the Super 7 Plus.
Yeah, the
Terry,
big
I still
dollars,
need to get Terry, I need to get a Biotron from you if you have one.
a very animated style, the Pythona. I think the Big Lob is really the best one because it's very accurate to the animation and the size comparison and stuff. It looks like it would be an old 80s O-ring figure. It fits perfect.
Did you guys see the recent Buzz Dixon interview that was on YouTube?
Yeah, I've interviewed him 3 times, and he's a really cool guy.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has a lot of the same anecdotes that he does on all these interviews, so it was not that much new for me.
I had it on in the shop the other day, and it was just kind of fun to listen to him talk about how Deke, I'll admit it's pronounced Deke, not Dick, but I still like to call it Dick. How Dick Animation ruined the American animation business with them
Yeah,
trying
I
to
don't like
undercut.
Dick animation.
Like the only Dick animation I think I've ever seen that I thought looked great and was good was the real Ghostbusters. Like I was very
I thought Cops
impressed.
was good. Cops
Oh,
was
that's
good.
right. They did Cops. I forget how did they do Cops so well and they can't get GI Joe right?
I don't know.
Dude, I don't think they did it that well. I think it was on par with G.I. Joe. Yeah. See? Dick was cheap looking.
Yeah. Ghostbusters for some reason wasn't. It actually got 2 Emmys, which I didn't know that.
Well,
The
some
animated
of the earlier stuff was better, like they did Inspector Gadget, I think too. Some of the early 80s stuff was better. It was as they were going along, they were paying too much and they had to start cutting corners. So they would pay too much for one and then cut another one. And it was a big pyramid scheme at the end and it collapsed under the weight.
Yeah, it sounded really crazy what they were doing. Like if I heard Buzz correctly, he said it cost $600,000 to produce a GI Joe episode. That seems way high, but for the '80s. But I mean, we don't know. But like, you think of all the stuff that advertising they get paid off of it, all that sort of thing, channel rights, all that. But he was saying something about how they were. Say it was 600K, Dick would go and say, "Hey, I can do it for 300," and then they obviously couldn't, and they didn't have the money to do it, so they go leverage an episode at the bank, and then it just like do this weird thing, and then nobody could compete.
It was a pyramid scheme. Deke was nothing but a pyramid scheme. Yeah, that's a really cool figure. I think they're finally getting into different things instead of reusing the same molds over and over and over.
Which one? Throw that one back up.
That was Destro Arctic.
Oh yeah, I picked him up too. That's the other one. I've lucked out. Like I find them 2 at a time, at my one Target that I go to, and I think they only order 2.
No, they order all of them, but
No. What meant like they only order like 2 cases
oh well, yeah.
because
I
they
don't
have
know.
restocked since I bought them.
Super 7, when it comes to Target, it's like they don't get them enough. Like you said, there's like a couple cases, and it's very, very thin. Like a lot of people in California will have it, but then people in Florida won't. Or somebody in Massachusetts will have it, but then somebody in New Mexico won't. It's
Oh,
weird. Their
real quick,
distribution is very weird.
just thinking of something here. What if Hasbro was to offer a made to order USS Flag?
No, it'll never happen.
Their CEO says yes.
No,
Never
he's
say
joking.
never, but I don't think
Never-
that's something that they
Never
should do.
say
Man.
never. Did you like that James Bond movie? Never Say Never.
Yeah, I love
Never
all the
seen
James Bond movies. But yeah. So let's see, where were we at? Oh, Hazlitt.
But no, so think about that though. Like to me, that would be made to order because they're
Yeah,
not going
I
to
think
Target.
that'd be fitting for made to order.
Target and Walmart's not going to carry it.
It'll never
Uh,
fund. That'll never fund. It'll be
Oh.
$1,000.
No, I don't think it'd be that much. I think if you do a 3 3/4 scale USS Flag, modern,
$500.
not like a complete redo of the original, but like a more modern kind of take on it. Because they were going to do one during Resolute in Pursuit of Cobra, but it looked kind of weird. It looked like it folded out or something. But I could see them doing one for about $500, $600.
There was more stuff that was included in the original vintage version that they had to cost out. There was a whole nother tower that was going to go underneath, and it was taller, and that got costed out. There was other accessories.
And I'm sure that there would be things with a new version that would get cut out as well due to costs, but
I could see that being an avenue for that.
They could
you know?
totally do a USS Flag for $500 to $600 made to order. I mean, dude, if they could do the
Top sail barge.
Yeah, the sail barge. If they
That
could do
was,
that,
what,
And I even
650 or 700.
I even think for the Star Wars fans out there, because I would consider getting one of these.
Sail barge was at least 650 or 700, one of the two.
I'd have to look it up.
I don't think that's accurate, but we'll find out.
They gave it like throwing one to the Star Wars fans. What if they did a Death Star that was made to order? You know, and maybe not like the original Kenner one, maybe kind of like a mixture of Kenner and Palatoys, where it's a sphere and there's the different rooms and compartments.
It was $4.99.
The sail barge was $4.99.
The sail barge was $4.99.
Wow. Well,
I kind of wish I had one of those because that would be Cobra Commander's sail barge. That thing would have Cobra stickers all over it, and he'd be chilling out with a couple slave Leias maybe. But I had a guy in the shop the other day that's looking to get rid of some toys. And he said he wanted to get rid of Star Wars stuff, and he has a bunch of HasLabs. So you want to get rid of that sail barge? He's like, no, I'm keeping that. I was like, damn it. I was like, sorry, Commander, you're not going to get your sail barge to fight the flag.
Yeah, I just, man, I never really got into Star Wars stuff. It was a little bit before my time, as far as like when most of the original stuff was coming out, and I just never really got into it as a kid. I liked the movie, but
it's Empire Strikes Back's my all-time favorite movie. And I think Star Wars is in my top 10. But I used to love Star Wars. I lived, ate, and breathed it for years as a kid. Everybody wanted to be Luke. I wanted to be Han. And I was so happy when it was going to come back in the prequels. When I saw the prequels, I liked them. In hindsight, I didn't. Now, post Disney, I'm kind of like, yeah, the prequels weren't that bad. They weren't great, but they were good. They weren't great. My big thing is I think they missed out on story opportunity. And then the sequels, I liked the first one, but when the second one came out, I don't even remember what it was called now. I've blocked it out of my mind. The Rian Johnson Star Wars,
same.
Last Jedi. I immediately went home and took a diamond box that we get our shipment in, and took all my Star Wars Black Series and dumped them in the box. I was like, I'm getting rid of all of it. And the whole thing with Star Wars / Disney employee or Lucasfilm / Disney employees attacking the fans, calling fans bigots. And it's like, you're the ones that took Finn out of the movie. You're the ones that took Finn, the coolest character in years, and made him a jester. And then because China told you to, you took him off the poster. I'm like, you all are the bigots, not the fans, because the fans didn't like a bad movie. And I'm like, art is subjective. And I tell people, if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. No one's right or wrong. But storytelling and the rules you've already established is kind of preset. And there's things in that movie that's like, it doesn't make sense. Why would you want to go save somebody that you just witnessed him kill his father and maybe your friend, Finn? But you saw him with his man boobs and you're like, I got to go. There's good in him. And I'm thinking, yeah, there's probably good in OJ Simpson. He was funny on Twitter and he's still chasing those killers on the golf course when he was alive. But he killed 2 people and robbed a gift shop.
Jeez.
And I'd be like, come on now. It's like and then like these people like and I think part of it was, and I think this happens with some of the toy collectors too, to kind of dovetail back to what we were talking about. People get envious because like to grow up with Star Wars, it was truly world changing. Like
Oh, I'm sure that it was. Yeah.
I mean, Jaws was technically the first blockbuster the year before, and then Star Wars comes out and just changed everything about how movies are made. Toys were changed because of that. Special effects, storytelling, the entire movie industry, ways to do movies were changed because of George Lucas. And it's just like when Batman '89 came out. That whole summer, everybody was about Batman. There was like a large sense of community within our country. And then you take that with Star Wars and do that around the world. And it's like a lot of people are envious that didn't grow up in that time. And so I think some people think like, well, this is my time to like it, whether it's good or not, and there's kind of the Disney adult. I guess there's like Star Wars adults that you can literally put Star Wars on a plate with dog poop and they're like, this is the greatest thing ever. Can I have another one? Because I feel like we get that with G.I. Joe sometimes too.
Oh yeah, we
Right.
definitely get that with G.I. Joe, man. You got a bunch of guys our age that are, these guys haven't touched a G.I. Joe figure in like 30 years. And all of a sudden they see classified figures come out and they think the classified line needs to be the exact same remake of A-Raw back in the 80s, A-R-A-H. And they don't realize, like one of the things, David, that you were talking about with that His tank and the how awestruck you are with the size of it and whatnot. I get pretty awestruck with the size of things sometimes too. Different things, whatever.
That's what she said.
But we're forgetting about the fact that G.I. Joe back in the 60s and 70s was 1/6 scale. It was 12-inch figures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, being impressed with the size of that stuff now, man. It's like, what did our parents experience with? Were they that impressed with like the size of the 12-inch stuff? Because that's one of the reasons why they went to a smaller scale in the 80s was due to
Plastic,
plastic,
oil,
and cost, and
oil.
also a lot of kids didn't buy more stuff because they didn't have room to put it.
Well, if you go back to the
I do know the 12-inch was huge in the 60s. They were selling so much. They only predicted, I think it was like 500 or whatever at Toy Fair or whatever the toy thing that they did at the time was. Because I was watching a documentary about the history of G.I. Joe the other day. And they ended up having to go back. And it was like 10 times as much that they sold, and they had to go back and manufacture more. They undersold, and they've done that over the decades. You can see that pattern. They've underestimated themselves in the 63 years that the brand has been going. They've underestimated this brand so many times, and they've undersold. Even Classified, they did that. It's not necessarily the scale, I don't think. It's the right time for the right children in the right zeitgeist of that moment that strikes G.I. Joe.
I also think too,
4 or 5 times.
I also think too, if you go back to the late 70s when they were, you have to go with Star Wars as the market leader. Well, prior to that was Mego. Mego had their 8-inch World's Greatest Hero line, which was incredible. And then they started doing 3 3/4 scale. They had Dukes of Hazzard, Chips, Buck Rogers,
Micronauts.
Micronauts, Black Hole. I mean, he had everything, right? And you can get into the whole why did they pass on Star Wars, whatever. Didn't they? Whatever. But Star Wars, one of the reasons they wanted to make them that size is because they wanted them to fit in kids' hands.
Yeah.
And then they wanted them to be the term the guy came up with, toyetic. And I think about that because, and I've probably mentioned this a few times, I've picked up for my son the classified figures. Like daddy gets one, he gets one, right? And Wyatt, my son, will gravitate towards 4-inch guys every time. That's all he plays with. 3 3/4, 4-inch, whatever, because he mixes his O-rings and modern sculpts and all that together. And I said, do you like the big? He calls them the G.I. Joe Big Inch. I was like, do you like the Big Inch? And he's like, yeah, but they don't fit my hand that good, and I can't put them in like Playmobil houses, or in other cars. I don't have any cars I can put them in. And I'm like, I think that's why the 3 3/4 scale hit such a not only in the 80s, but there's still a soft spot for it. I like the 4-inch, version of it, modern stuff, but like because you can get accessories, you can get play sets, you can get vehicles. Plus, if you were a kid, you can play with them. Where the 6-inch, I mean, yeah, you can play with 6-inch toys, I guess, if you're a kid.
Wouldn't it be cool if the ARC line put out a vehicle for the ARC team called the Grounder?
Ah, I was telling somebody about that last night, and how you were like, oh, they have all this high tech, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's a love hate thing with this thing, and there's a sentimental reason that the guy likes it.
Exactly. I think that we need that, and what we're talking about is like I handed off pages 4 through 6 to Dan to edit and script and make rewrites to for the first issue of Artifact Recovery and Containment. And
now let me really preface real quick. When I do what you just said, I put on the Cobra Commander beret, the sunglasses, and the little mustache and the chin hair, so I could feel really artistic when I do that.
And that is perfect.
I'm teasing. I would look horrible like that.
You should do it though.
I think you'd look very good. You look like a painter from France.
Yes, a painter from France. They come from France.
Dan Thompson's officially been broken on the podcast. Wow.
Are you gonna wear like all of that get up but have a cone head?
I have to do something now. I have to do something now. Oh, I meant, when I sent you guys the Cobra Commander video for the sale I had, I actually did a Starscream for a customer. I had one of the Constructicons come in for him, and I did it in my car, and it got the reverberation perfect. And that's like the closest I could get to Starscream's voice. I'll have to send you the sound clips. It was pretty cool. I was like, oh my God, it does sound like him. But it was kind of funny because I was using the customer's name. But no, sorry, Terry. I was just being a goof. Yeah, Terry sent me some pages that I knocked out pretty quickly. And Terry seemed to like them because I'm still working for him. So, but we came up with a vehicle called the Grounder. I have in my head what it looks like. I'm trying the best to figure out how to describe it.
So do I. And I think that like when I start sending some of these photos of vehicles that I have in mind to go off of for Zoo, I think that we can come up with something that's going to be simple, rugged, and that could totally be made into a 3.75 inch vehicle for the figures.
Oh yeah, that you could use with your Joes or your Mego chips.
Right.
Look at the Todd McFarlane model for their smaller vehicles that they did, those Batman vehicles that they did, and different other things that they did. You can easily get away with that. Just have some wheels that move.
Oh, his
steering column, and that's it. And a chassis.
Blue Beetle Scarab ship is amazing. I've got one right here on the shelf. I'm trying to get Mr. Terrific's T-Sphere,
I
Or
am thinking
t-shirt.
something that looks along the lines of like I'm a Jeep guy. Me and my wife, we both drive Jeeps. I'm thinking something along the lines of like a mix of a Wrangler or a Gladiator, a Warthog from Halo, or there's this other vehicle that I also have in mind. I don't want it to be too overly complicated. I want it to be pretty simple. I
Terry,
want
when I was a kid, I had a green kind of almost like a dune buggy Jeep sort of thing with a white top. It
Yeah.
was kind of like a sandbox outside playing the pool toy.
Mhm.
And I kind of in my head, it's kind of like an armored version of that.
Yeah.
I gotta try to find a picture of it, but it's a product of like the late 70s or 80s because in the story, and not to give away our story, the character driving it has a sentimental attachment to it. And I likened it to kind of like Han and the Falcon, Jack Burton and the Pork Chop Express, where there's like the vehicle itself is almost a character. And just when you kind of love it and you love the toy, it'll probably get blown up in a book. And then you'll just be like, damn it, this is my favorite character.
Yeah,
Or
well,
maybe
that's
not.
what you were talking about with the grounder. Have it be something that gets blown up or whatever, and then the character it's associated with ends up rebuilding it and having a stronger tie to it. That's happened numerous times in
Oh yeah.
different media that we've all consumed. Supernatural, in particular, was one where the vehicle got burned out, blown up, whatever, and they rebuilt it. Sam and Dean rebuilt the car. I think the Vamp.
That's happened quite a bit in a lot of the stuff, like you said, Knight Rider that happened to, the General Lee that happened to,
Yeah.
even Starsky and Hutch's car that happened.
It's funny you say Knight Rider because I was listening to the Knight Rider theme on loop when I was writing for Terry the other night.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with that. Clutch and the Vamp, same thing.
Yeah. Always wrenching on it, and I love that. I love the idea of doing that as some character development stuff with with Kane, with that character.
Well, you being a Jeep guy, you guys are always tinkering with your Jeeps.
Dude, that's somebody. My daughter, she's 4 years old, and she asked me like, "Why are you always working on it?" It's like there's something to do to it all the time. Always something.
It's part of having one, I guess.
It is. It really is, man. Because I mean, they're basically like so they're GI Joes.
Yeah.
Look at what Gridiron Studios does for classified stuff, man. Like they've got, as soon as the Awe Striker came out, they had a bunch of stuff for it ready to go. They had their own version of the Awe Striker.
Oh, speaking of the All Striker, I had finally opened mine up and it was a little disappointed. That top component will not stay on. The way they have it where it just kind of plugs in.
You got to really push it in there.
Yeah, and then like the little rockets on the top.
Yeah.
Or rocket tubes or whatever. You push it in, one
warped.
Yeah, one of them pops off. You pop it on, the cage comes off. I think they could have done a little bit better job on that one.
Yeah, I think they could have too, man. I think they could have done better with the material that they use. And
the wheels, I don't have a big issue with. The body of the of the vehicle, I don't have a big issue with. It's just the top.
Yeah, the body's great. Like the core shell of the vehicle is great.
Like I've almost just thought about taking the top off, and there you go. But yeah, it's almost like they're trying to do too much on the top of it.
Isn't it modular? You don't need to use that top, I don't think. Do you, Terry?
To use a cannon on it, you do.
The additional turret seat thing, yeah, you can take that off. You don't have to have that on there.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm talking about the actual top that has the cannon.
The roll cage.
You can't get the roll cage to stay in.
No, I mean it's in right now. I think I have it on the shelf back there. But if you touch it, it pops out in the back because it's almost like it's almost like it has these grooves, and they just kind of the pressure of it catches the groove, but it won't stay. It'll just kind of flick itself out. I think they could have done a little bit. And for as many times as they've remade the All Striker, from the Toys R Us days to Valor versus Venom to 25th anniversary to Walmart, you think they would get a 6-inch one perfect? I mean, seriously. I mean, they've made it. That's the most probably remade thing they've done. That in the His Tank.
Maybe
You
the
know,
Vamp has more because his Vamp is around the globe more.
Yeah, but here's the thing, guys. What they were trying to do with the Awe Striker was appeal to the guys who think that GI Joe is like realistic military or whatever. So they added a realistic component to the Awe Striker, what it was based on, the LSV, the Light Strike vehicle. Let me get it pulled up here.
David, you mentioned Clutch. I'm at the part in Compendium 3 where Clutch and Rock and Roll are getting drugged to Baraka Beach.
Oh, that story, that's a fun story.
That one kind of annoyed me back in the day. I'm trying to hurry up and get to the Snake Eyes trilogy.
So then Clutch, I think, is going to get brainwashed and he's going to go back to the pit and he's going to be working for Cobra. And they have to like try to fix him and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I thought there was some story with Mutt and somebody in that, but
that's later. That's in the I think in the 100 somewhere. There's a Mutt and them because it's MD Bright is doing the artwork. Yeah, the Mutt gets involved later.
And I'm ready for Fred 7 to meet his fate.
Oh, I love Fred 7.
I'm ready for the real deal Holyfield to come back.
He won't come back till issue 100, but
no, I know. Well, like 99, I think, but
yeah, 99, 100, yeah. But
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I've still not read the latest issues of GI Joe. So here it is with the tow missile and one with the machine.
We're not even talking about the latest issues. We're talking about books from 30 years ago.
40.
Yeah, I'm not up on the latest issues of GI Joe, guys.
There's some really good stuff going on with Skybound right now. So, but
yeah, and I think those are cool. I give me the option to do both, classic All Striker or that. That would justify the price.
We need this.
Yeah, let's get that. A Wolverine.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down with it. Yeah, they've got a whole section here of like the realistic counterparts to GI Joe vehicles. This little Lynx vehicle here, I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised that Awe Striker. I agree with you, Dan, that it has been reused quite a lot. I don't know. I've not heard that roll cage was anybody else's issue had issues with that. So that's surprising that you did.
I have. I've heard people having issues with it just because you really have to push it down into the post holes. Like it's really got to be seated in there, and or it'll pop out.
I got mine in there, and then I put a crankcase in, and the thing popped off, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
I found it was easier to put crankcase in without the top on, and then put the top on and everything over them.
That's what I ended up doing. But no, I mean it's cool. I mean, I've heard people gripe about and complain. I don't say gripe; it sounds bad, but like have issues with the wheels and have issues with the actual body of it. The wheels didn't bother me at all. But like when you and I talked, Terry, I forget when it was. Like a month or so ago, and you were like, "Yeah, I don't know if I don't like the All Striker the way they did this, or they had some problems with it." And I was like, "Well, I hadn't opened mine up yet. I've had mine for a few weeks. I hadn't opened it up." Then
did you have some accessory issues? They were too gummy.
Mm-hmm. And my crankcase broke right out of the box.
It did?
Oh.
Yeah. Go back and watch the video.
I watched it. I don't remember you telling me that it broke.
Yeah, it broke, right? The figures ab crunch broke as soon as I took them out and moved them.
Wow. That glue is on there sometimes because I was opening these up today for a video, and you do have to be very ginger about those thigh articulations because the paint does stick. So you have to be very ginger before you go into that and kind of just do it slowly. But,
You mean that you open your toys, David?
Well, I've been doing these reviews. I'm up to now 101.
Who opens their toys? I'm a mint on card only collector.
Oh gosh, so I have to tell you about this real quick. Yesterday, almost towards close, we had this guy come in, and I was busy making the list for next week, and I let my buddy wait on him. He's like, "Do you have any vintage Star Wars?" And we were like, "Yeah, we got some in the case over here." And he was like, "Because I have all mine with the boxes." Oh, that's cool. Oh no, I've had them since I was a kid because I kept my boxes nice. I'm thinking like nobody when they're a kid with the excitement of Star Wars, G.I. Joe, or Transformers took the time to politely cut the tape, pull it out, pull the card. No, you as quick as you could to get that toy out and put it together and play with it. And he was like, kept trying to buy our. We had a cloud car with the box. Oh, how much is the box? We're like, no, it comes with the thing. Or it comes with the ship. Oh well, and it just was like, dude, who cares? Like, he started pulling out all the stuff to buy.
I did that when I was a kid. I shit you not, man.
Well, I must have. I waited on Terry's uncle yesterday.
I'd fold it out flat, and I threw the inside stuff away, the plastic bags and all that stuff, but I kept the boxes, and I ended up like cutting the file cards out later and throwing all the boxes away because it's just trash. So.
Hey, can I go over the classified vintage package situation that's been going on recently?
Situation?
Yeah.
Is that like a situationship?
Yeah, another situation here.
Or a relationship?
Both. Have you noticed the difference between these two cards?
Yeah.
Why don't they use the white borders on these vintage packages?
Why would they?
Because this is a vintage package. It should have the white border.
It's not.
I know it's not, but that's the sad part. Now, I was looking at this. A lot of people complain about this bat being too vintage, and they said it's too close to the other one. And I've been really, really looking at it, and it's actually quite different than the previous other bat. I guess it was like 30 something, 32 or 33. There's a wash they use it looks like the Terminator, like the Schwarzenegger Terminator. There's a wash over the metal. It looks very realistic, like Terminator-esque. And then they put a clear top where it looks where you put that on the
it's
computer.
Sunbow. It's Sunbow themed.
Maybe it's Sunbow, maybe.
No, there's no maybe to it. That is the Sunbow themed bat.
Oh, okay.
I just looked over. I'm looking at my retro carded ones, and the only one that has a white border is the Cobra Commander that came with his tank.
Right.
Well, I'm talking about the vintage ones. All the vintage ones came with white borders. The new classified vintage package do not, except for the Cobra Commander.
Yeah, I don't care about that as much as I do Flint Shapiro.
But look, there's a lot of differences.
Why is Vince Shapiro on a fucking card?
There's a lot of differences. There's a lot of differences to this figure than there was the other one. People are complaining it was too close. Like there's a little fire like coloring on the blowtorch.
Man, we got a shitload of bats. If people want to complain about it, don't buy it.
There's some new laser effects that were not with the original version. The clear case that goes over the colored parts is damaged, so you can see through like this damage. Then this package, I like this package. One of the few packages, I think it looks really cool. Looks like almost 3D, almost like CGI. Out of all of these packages, this one looks the best. It's like there's an artist that worked for CrossGen. What was his name? Oh God, I can't think of his name. But
it's Flint dirty.
Well, that's old news. This is new, brand new.
No, it's not.
Brand new.
That's not new, David.
It isn't. Looks
no.
New. Looks new to me. Looks really good.
It's not new.
I like the fact that
you gotta pay extra to get new stuff from China before it hits the sea or before it hits American shores.
Oh, that's BS. Those guys that get that stuff, that's BS. That's cheating.
I mean, whatever gets you ahead, man.
I'm not that interested in being ahead, but I do like this. I think this is much better than I thought it was based on the render and the reveal at the PulseCon and all that stuff. It looks really good. I think they did a good job with this.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's Sunbow themed for sure.
I haven't got my green shirts yet. Hopefully Monday I'll get green shirts.
I've got cases coming in.
Yeah, we're still waiting on green shirts, retro bat.
So, Dan, when you ordered those from your distributor, did you get solid cases of each of those, or did you get the wave cases?
I
got
get
the wave
solid
cases that have two.
All I'm allowed to get now is solid cases.
Yeah, see, I've gone more toward. I've been leaning more toward wave cases so that I
With
can
the
just sell
exception
the
of
entire case and be done.
Some
I thought you froze
Transformers.
there for a second, David.
What?
Huh?
Who?
Some Transformers we've been getting in are coming in assortments, and then I have ones that are just like solid cases, and mostly for the Joes that are coming in solid. They seem to ship faster than the assortments with this particular vendor.
Yeah.
Terry, did you watch? I know you probably didn't watch, so I probably shouldn't even ask. But there's a YouTube that was on another YouTuber that was on another YouTube channel that they mentioned a lot of rumors and this and that. I know you don't like rumors, Terry.
I don't like rumors.
I
don't like rumors, and I don't even like stuff that's announced as a don't tell anybody, but we're going to get this down the road. It's already in process, and then shit happens, and it doesn't happen the way they said that it's going to. Like, dude, I've gotten advanced lists of stuff that we're going to be getting. Like, these figures are going to be in this wave.
Oh.
The worst instance of that for me was when Major Blood was announced.
Yeah.
And I ordered a shitload of Major Blood figures because everybody wanted them. And
surprise, exclusive.
Surprise! All the people that have pre-ordered from you now have to refund because it's Target exclusive.
Yeah, that's happened a few times with us. I know that Destro and the Despoiler was supposed to be out in 23, and it got pushed to 24 and 25. Now supposedly we're going to get it in 2026.
And you know, if we do, that's awesome. But every time that I hear that, every time I get an advanced list, every time I see an advanced list, it's always you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt because it can change. Things can change in production as quickly as they start.
And about 80% of it, about 80% is accurate.
This whole year's waves have all been reshuffled. There's people that was supposed to be in that Major Blood, since you brought that up. The Monkey Wrench, Armor Coco, Snake Eyes version 4, that wave was supposed to have Night Viper and Sci-Fi. Well, those two figures were not in that wave. Then they put Sci-Fi in the next wave, and that was going to have Flash. But then that wave never had Flash. And then we get the next wave, and guess what? We get a Night Viper, but still no Flash. So there's a lot of production, like you said, and you've got to be patient. But, you know, the speculation is fun. It helps this brand kind of talk in the communications and get people communicating and stuff like that. But I'm talking about more of the vintage package. There's a rumor that they're gonna steer more towards vintage package releases in the future and get away from mainline releases. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's a bad move.
I think it'll double sales with some people. Because I buy two. I buy one to hang on the wall and one to open up.
I think that there's probably just as many people who have said that they're not collecting the retro cards.
Well, it's the way they're doing the retro cards. They're all over the place. They're not picking a lane with this. If you're going to do like Terry always says, a whatever scale version of the vintage, then call this the vintage package line.
They're not calling it vintage, David. They're calling it retro.
Huh?
It's retro, not vintage.
Well, yeah, but that's the problem with it. They're saying that, but they're not actually doing it because we're getting like.
I think they're doing just fine with it, man. I mean, they're not. They're saying that it's a retro styled release, by retro, they mean a card back with a blister and artwork and all that stuff. These don't have to be like direct remakes of the 80s figures. At least I don't think.
Well, I thought that's what the whole idea of this was.
I'm under the impression that it was just the idea of it was literally just like, this is retro styling, and they threw some retro styled figures into it.
I see.
Because
some of them will line up.
They put in that packaging, it's very much not that retro.
Some of them will line up. Some of them line up more with the original stuff than other ones do, but like they all kind of have updates, more weapons and accessories, which I'm fine with all that. I prefer the blister card packaging with Marvel Legends, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, the Dungeons and Dragons NECA figures. I just think they look cool. They're kind of a throwback to a golden age, and then there's the temptation to buy two instead of one because you'd like to leave one on the card and then one to open up. Because I have a lot of people that'll do that in the shop. They'll buy two of the retro carded figures, and I do it myself. When I can, with the exception of Flint. I don't have I had one to open up. I was not going to display that one.
Did you get that new one, that new packaged art one that they did 82 of?
No. If I did, I wouldn't have it because it'd be on eBay.
84, right, Terry? 84. Am I right? Yeah.
I never did 82 of them.
85. They did 85 of them.
It's whenever the year that Flint came out, that's how many they did.
1985.
Whatever it was. But I didn't get it. When I got my Flints, I got 3 of that vintage package, but it was not the new one at all. And I know a lot of people that didn't either. But did either of you guys get that?
No, I have no interest in trying to get that.
Oh, okay.
Too expensive.
It goes for like $1,000. You should try it. Yeah, and
there's only 85 of them in the world, so.
Yeah, and I'm not buying a bunch of figures that I can't resell even for retail for a shot at getting this guy here.
Well, I thought it was very strange. They said, oh, you're going to get it randomly. Anybody that ordered through Pulse. I was like, well, great. I ordered through Pulse, but I ordered mine in like April or May or whatever it was that came out. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they'll throw one in.
Yeah, we've looked at this a few times, but yeah, 82 of them. Surprise limited edition card back art on 82 of Flint figure orders.
Yeah, I don't think it's any better. Well, I guess the face is better. It's kind of, but I don't know. Either or, it's like apples or oranges. I don't care for either one of those packages personally.
They're not my favorite either, man. But yeah, as far as like those the retro card backs go, like I've always thought of it as being like it's retro styling. It doesn't have to be 100%. If they really wanted to go with like 100% retro styling and keep it all retro, that's what I wish they would do. They should have used the original artwork.
Yeah.
They should have used the original card art because it all exists. It's all out there. You can get it.
No, it's not, because they've painted over some. Like when they did Tiger Force and Python Patrol, they painted over Duke. They painted over different characters because they did not have the money.
High resolution scanning and Photoshop are definitely things that can be used.
Well, yeah, man. But yeah,
for $1 billion company
way, with computers and stuff like that, but they do not have the original paint jobs.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the original paintings. I was talking about the original artwork. Like the original. Let me clarify. All of the original card art is out there in the digital world.
Yes.
They should have just used the original art.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
Yeah. Well, it's just like with the Sky Striker, they lost the mold. So they
lost a lot of molds. They were
trying to get the people to send them Sky Strikers so they could reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
Did you guys get this?
Nope.
It's authored by James McFadden. It's Fighting for Freedom, the unauthorized G.I. Joe chronology. It's basically the timeline of G.I. Joe. And he's got about 4 different timelines because there's some that are just so out there that they won't fit in continuity, but it incorporates books, coloring books, different stuff, toys, cartoons, this, that. It's quite extensive. It's worth a read if you just are like a picky person. No, this happened before that, or no, that happened before that, or no, that happened, blah, 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 blah. And it's very interesting. It's a very good read. It's worth a pickup if you have the opportunity to. For anybody that's a continuity driven person out there, I interviewed him the other day. He's a very nice guy, and he's been working on this book for like 10 plus years.
You know what I find fascinating? You just said something a second ago, because I used to deal with this in the shop all the time. People would get so worked up. They're like, you know what drives me nuts about comics is that Captain America's doing this in his book, but then he's in the Avengers doing this, but then he's in this book. And I'm like, that's called Monday, Tuesday, and Friday.
Exactly.
I'm like, if that's what gets you worked up about comic books, then I'm like,
there's 7 days in a week. There's 30 days in a month. Yeah, Wolverine could be over here with the Uncanny X-Men. He could be in Madripoor over here. He could be teaming up with Spider-Man over here, because there's all kinds of time.
yeah, it didn't have to happen all at once.
You know what I'm still waiting on for classified, guys? The one figure I want to see coming to the classified line.
Which one?
Who's that?
The Cobra Claws.
Cobra Claws?
Ooh, those would be really nice ones.
There's a lot of fun stuff. They've said, though, in several interviews, I've been keeping an eye on all their interviews they've done at all these shows. I've wanted to see.
I wish I did, but I don't.
Well, I do, and I keep up with it. And they said they want to get every character that has ever existed in G.I. Joe in classified at some point.
I hope they do.
I think it would be great, but the problem is there's a lot of variations of characters. That's where the problem gets. Like, I really think we need to have a longshoreman shipwreck. All the parts are there to make that. All the parts are there to make that longshoreman shipwreck. But where will we ever get that?
Are you talking about that one?
Yes.
I still want to try this gum that's in this box. I still want to try it. Like, I want to do a live stream where I open one of these figures and try the gum, because that gum is now, let's see, what year did this come out?
Like 25 years ago?
2003. Yeah, 2003.
I think this was the Walking Dead and you needed food.
Yeah,
I think
there's got to be some caloric value to that, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Terry won't be joining us anymore, folks. He had a tragic end. The gum became extra sticky and it clogged up his throat and he suffocated. So what were we just talking about?
Have you been keeping up with the Heroes Quest drops, Terry?
The what?
The Heroes Quest. I think it's Heroes Quest drops.
I'm not a nerd. I don't play stupid child games.
Oh, it's
actually about, David?
They just dropped, I think it was Dr. Mindbender a couple weeks ago. Then I think Roadblock got dropped this week. And it's going to be a really interesting thing. But I'm a big G.I. Joe game supporter. I don't know. It's just one of those things. But I like Heroes Quest. I think that it's a cool crossover. And Renegade Games has done a really good job. They've done Axis and Allies with G.I. Joe. They did Risk with G.I. Joe. Now they're doing Heroescape or whatever the hell, Quest or Heroes, whatever. And I like that. I think it's fun. I want to get a Stratego G.I. Joe.
That'd be fun. Real quick, you were talking about the Cobra Claws. They did several versions of those back in the day, and I think that would make a good classified character.
Well, that's another thing, too, is we're almost 100% finished from 82 to 87. They've got to start getting into some of that later stuff. The 2000s,
are we though?
So much stuff. Yeah, they're very close. They're about maybe 12 or 13 figures away from 82 to 87. Yeah, there's a few
82 to 87. What about 88 to 94?
Well, I'm not saying those. I'm saying 82 to 87. They're almost 100% done. There's a few repaints, a few vehicle drivers. You're not getting Cutter. You're not getting Keelhaul, but couple of the other ones, probably Deep Six, maybe you'll get Ace. You might get a couple of the other ones, but
What are we gonna get Ace for?
well, I think they're gonna have to redo the Sky Striker, make it smaller, and we will get a HasLab probably, and it'll
Why
come
would they make
with
it smaller?
because it's the HasLab version. They said in several videos they measured it out. It's like 7 feet, so they're not going to be able to do the Sky Striker in its original a Grummet version. They're going to have to make it smaller or a different jet or something, and it's going to have to come with multiple pilots, Ace and the other guy that was in the Conquest.
How about they just do a classified Conquest?
There you go. That's smaller.
You talking about the 3 3/4 scale HasLab Sky Striker? That wasn't 7 feet.
No, classified scale.
Classified scale, I don't think would be 7 feet.
Well, they said it on
No.
several videos at like San Diego Comic-Con. People interviewed him. They said they measured it, and it's like 7 feet. A classified, accurate Sky Striker.
I don't-
David, it would be 160% larger than the 3 3/4. That's not 7 feet.
Well, okay.
I mean, that's
Yeah, I think they just make it I don't think they make it to scale to the real thing. It's a toy. I mean, there's no way it'd be longer than the USS Flag.
yeah. If you look at the like, I don't know who all's saying that, but what I'm getting at is the fact that classified scale is 160% of 3.75. 6-inch scale is 160% of that. So if they were to scale the Sky Striker up 160%,
There it is, right there.
yeah, like to have that 60% larger,
Freaking
you're looking at like maybe, like how long is that?
That's almost 5. Well, depends on if you include the thrusters and stuff. It's about 5 feet.
That is not 5 feet long, David.
No, not 5 feet long. No, 500. Maybe I'm thinking 500 inches or something. I don't know. It's about 3.5 feet.
Okay. Yeah, so it like 3.5 feet, like it would be like maybe 5 feet.
It'd be a little bit bigger than the Rattler. I mean, just
Yeah.
like the 4-inch
Rattler,
one.
way bigger than the Rattler. Way bigger. But it's all toy stuff, you know. We all get into these discussions, you know. But
I'm just trying to see like where you or anyone else is coming from by saying that it would be 7 feet long, because
Yeah, I don't
you
see
can't
it.
know from something that's like that size, just scaling it up, like making something 60% larger is not going to make that 7 feet long.
I'm not sure. I'm not.
If you're trying to make it like to scale to an actual real life airplane, maybe.
I'm not.
But
an
none of this
engineer,
is to
but-
scale to real life anything.
Yeah, none of it is.
No.
Yeah,
you're right.
I mean, you got the Rattler would be way bigger than his tank, and it's not. I mean, the body of it.
Right.
Oh no, it is. This is 3 times bigger than that. Way bigger. 3 times.
The body of the Rattler, the actual cockpit,
The
would be
Rattler.
bigger than the his tank body.
Oh, it is. It is.
No,
I
it's
haven't
not.
opened mine up, but it's
It's
pretty
not.
big.
It's
Did you
not
open
bigger than
yours?
his tank.
It isn't.
No, it's narrow like an airplane. But I mean, if you were doing it to scale, it would probably be as big as the cockpit of the his tank. But they're not doing it to scale. They're doing it to toy scale, not real life.
Right.
I think we're all
Now, I
confused.
mean, like I could see like if they made one that was scaled like real life 1/12 scale, then it would probably be, you know, massive. It would be, you know, 5, 6, 7 feet long, whatever. But yeah, like the percentage longer, the percentage bigger, it's 60% bigger.
60%.
Yeah.
Okay.
To go from 3.75 to 6-inch scale it's 60%, roughly.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah, so I mean, they could totally do a Sky Striker without a problem, and I could see that being a HasLab set.
I can see it coming pretty soon too.
especially if they did real working parachutes for the figures. Yes, they would have to be huge, and I understand that, but it can be done.
Well, I hope so. I hope we could get it. It's going to be a pricey one. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure.
I think it'd be
Oh,
350,
it's all going to
400.
be pricey. Maybe they could do that made to order. I can hear your wallet crying just like mine.
Speaking of made to order, Terry, get caught up on your comics because the Dreadnought War has started. The first issue was really good.
I need to do that. Yeah, I've got them downloaded, and I just need to
There
read them
is
all.
new leadership in Cobra.
Yeah, he jumped the gun
temporarily,
on
we'll
that
just
one.
say.
I think that person jumped the gun on that a little too
Yep.
soon.
Yep, I think so too. Because I have a feeling that by the end of this, the Dreadnoughts will be under the heel of Cobra Commander.
Well, our
And-
hour is up, guys. Our hour of power. So we will see you back next Sunday. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, commenting, engaging, and all of that stuff. And David, Dan, thank you for coming. It's been great chatting with both of you as
Good to
always.
chat with you guys, and hope everyone out there in TV, YouTube land has a great week.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all the comments. Very engaging today. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Terry.